Hi there. Welcome to the veritable edge of Western civilization yet again. This is show number 145. And today is Tuesday. January 27th, I think. Either 26th or 27th. Not sure. It's a beautiful day, but it is also a bit chilly and breezy, and which is nothing compared to what's happening in the Northeast, where I'm from. We're having an epic snowstorm. And let's see. What else is going on? Oh yeah, so there was no show yesterday because there was no show yesterday because I spent all day long trying to get our 3-minute Conscious Pilots demo onto an iPad. It was a learning curve. I'd never actually played with an iPad before, and you know, it seemed so simple. A computer here, it's got the video on there, and how do you get that video onto this iPad? But eventually, and the good thing is it rained a little bit yesterday, so I wasn't set up on the beach. And hey there. In fact, by the time, I think it was raining by the time the show would have started. I was running around taking care of errands, but I got a lot done. And it's one of those situations, okay, so this iPad has the Conscious Pilots demo on it, and my mission was to get it to this brother Joel, who is going to take it to the art show at the Barker Hangar here in Santa Monica on Thursday to show to galleries, and to see if we can get some exhibitions going. So that's kind of exciting. That's why I spent all day doing that. Excuse me a second. So these folks just put their bikes right next to my setup. Big beach, hardly anybody around, but they had to put their shit right next to mine so that I couldn't even walk there. Crazy.
Yeah.
So,
Tell them, hey.
yeah, it's yours. So, the boardwalk. It is such a wealth of weirdness and never knowing what's going to happen next. Shoppers. I show you. They just moved their bikes over there. They're right next to. I mean, see how there's all this room. You know, crazy. Anyway, I can admit to being territorial. What's going on? The other thing, let's see what we got, 66%. The other thing that's happening is, you know how you have something that you don't really want to do, but you got to do it, and you know you're really not liking doing it, and you just want it out of the way so that you can get on to do the things that you really want to do. And then, you know, you've invested this thing with so much, you know, that when you actually accomplish it and it's all done, you feel like you passed a benchmark or something. You feel tremendously, you know, free, you know, lots of freedom. And that's kind of how it feels like. I feel like I was let out of school or something by finishing this crazy distracting stuff for me. After getting this thing done with the iPad and the demo, I mean, that was about, I don't know, the better part of a month worth of energy to get a demo of our work to this person so that they can fulfill their end of the bargain, which is to try to get the work promoted. You know? So, and the good part about that is now we have, what, 4 demos done? Varying, you know, there's a 1 minute, a 3 minute, a 13 minute, and a 31 minute demo. So it's really good.
Whitney, why was you right here? What happened? I'm not gonna be surprised watching myself on Instagram or something. He wasn't even doing that. He was videotaping it and did the first thing, and I'm like, what the fuck? I turned around like, what the fuck? And he turned around laughing. I'm like, you did the fourth thing. I'm like, I was like, did you do the first thing? But you tried to see my expression. I turned around like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna be surprised watching myself. That's looking old lady. I said, excuse me. She gonna say, watch where you're moving. Okay, got that. You brush my feet. Okay. Come on, Haley. Wait, go, Mom. Go over there.
Yeah, let's watch the show.
Go get her in the back of the bike. Are your hands wet? Wasn't we supposed to be finessing? Got her hair. Where's her hair stuff? That's what I'm thinking like. I think it's her hair stuff because when I had before we had even gotten out, I had to. I'm like, oh go. Yeah, like take the car. In the seating. Okay. We'll kind of go there and finesse it. Oh, she said thank you. She said thank you. Yeah, I feel now. Yeah. It's nasty. She said she actually found my water. I gave her $1. She's like, wow. She gets lip gloss. Kylie, get the thing. Get him, I'm closing. I'm trying to hold his mic up. Help us close it a little bit hard. Oh, yeah? Blow your whistle. Blow your whistle. Yes, girl. I just did.
That's all.
Hey, chill. Well, kind of split it like over here. Thank you.
Okay. Boys Club merit badge. Get my patience merit badge. Yeah. How you doing?
The hero.
I don't know about that. It's purely self-interest.
That was the word that came to me as I was watching you. Someone asked for an angel to be a hero to rescue.
I don't know about that. What's going on with
The
you?
man in red
Yes.
shows up.
I'll be the man in red today. What's going on? Yes. Can't hear you. Go ahead. What's
Do you
going on?
record? Aren't you talking about?
I'm doing whatever, you know, I mean, I don't even know what the hell that was, but what's going on? What's up with you?
Clarity.
Oh, you got
Deep.
the freaking clarity, huh? You gotta watch out for that.
Really deep clarity.
Deep clarity? Oh, God. It's coming home. Good. Clarity's good.
Yes. And
That with a little chocolate. I got me some chocolate. Got a big thing for Kyle.
did you?
Huge. It's like, all I wanted was, you know, the small package. But I got the large package by mistake.
How did you get it by mistake?
It was the only one there, right? And it said $8, right? I was like, $8? Wham! Gotta grab that. So when I went to the thing, it was $18. I was like, I ain't paying $18. I just wanted the small one, you know. And I took it back, and they said, we'll give you the big one for the small one price because it was, you know, it was where there weren't any small ones, and I was like, here's your $11 back. I was like, hey, you know,
See, that's,
simple pleasures.
I would say
simple
that's
pleasures.
right there a miracle to celebrate because people don't usually offer that. People are usually
I
asking
know.
that.
I wasn't.
You weren't
I
saying,
was just like,
"Yeah,
here,
it was
have
mismarked."
it, just, you know, give me back my $18. You know, and they were like, no, we'll give you the chocolate and $11 back. That's how to keep a customer.
Totally. Where was this?
Dare I say, Whole Foods. Yeah, I'll be singing their praises, even though they don't have pizza night anymore. Oh well. Whole paycheck.
I thought of you and your book. Oh, you don't have it out.
What are you talking about?
Your Seagulls book. I just
You're
thought of your Seagulls book.
Of course, the one book that It's in there. Why? What's
when
it?
I was sitting out on the beach. I was walking and I saw all the beautiful seagulls and birds facing the sun, and I remember you talking and sharing about sitting with them, and so I said, well, you're all right here facing the sun. This is the perfect place for me to sit and bring in the sun and the air and all the yumminess that you obviously know that is beneficial. And then I had an interesting thing happen. I was writing and got finished, and I looked back to say thank you, and they weren't there. And I went, well, and I looked down a little bit further, and they had moved down south. And I went, what do you know that I do not know yet? What do you know that I have yet to remember? And I realized, well, I will be answered. I will be answered.
Certainly.
As I was looking at the beach, and I'm like, I really enjoy how I am feeling. And I really enjoy what I'm experiencing, and just to know exactly what are the benefits that these birds at specific times. It's not every time of the day. And then I thought of you, and well, I thought of your seagull book because of your passion for seagulls, but then I also thought of other ancient wisdom teachings you shared in other of your books, but I'm aware you have yet to share and reveal through you why they do that.
Why seagulls?
Well, why this time of day as the sun? As you said that there were watchers when you were talking about Big Sur and things that were coming in, that the benefits of the positioning of the sun and the earth, the air, and what that all is. So anyway, I just realized that if it's also beneficial for humans to sit and be receiving the yumminess that the birds already know. Like I just got that they are fed, they're nourished. They know where to go to be fed.
Thank you. No, well, you know,
It wasn't for you to answer. I was just sharing that you came to mind as I was aware of something that not everybody's seen.
right.
You did.
So Ryan is in Tucson at the Tucson Gem Show.
Tucson what's it?
Gem Show
Oh,
goes on for like a month.
1 month?
Yeah, 3 weeks, something like that.
Wow.
And he was. Let me see what I was telling people. I was telling folks about this this iPad. He had a broken iPad, like the glass is broken, and we wanted to get it to Joel with our demo on it because he's going to this art show on Thursday. Goes through the weekend at the Barker Hangars, the Santa Monica Airport.
What is he doing at the airport?
There's all these galleries in the hangar, right?
I haven't seen him.
It's okay. They're not there all the time. It's a specific. I don't remember what the name of it is, like the Santa Monica Art Show or something like that,
Oh,
right?
I choose to go.
Well, there you go. And so there's this guy. You know, I told you about this fellow Joel Portnoy who's interested in helping to promote the work, right? Well, we put our demo on an iPad, or I put it on there yesterday, And I gave it to him and showed him how to use it and everything like that, so he can go around and show because what he wanted our demo on DVDs. You know, he wanted a stack of DVDs, and nobody deals with DVDs anymore, really. It's kind of going on the way out. So the demo is on Vimeo, and it's on this iPad for him to be able to show people. You know, you can stop it anywhere and show them a picture, a painting, whatever. And so I got it to him yesterday. Gave him the whole, walked him through it, how to use it and everything. Because I had never used an iPad until yesterday either. So I had to learn how to do it, you know. And then which sounds like such a simple thing, right? How to get the demo off of this computer onto that object without losing any resolution or anything like that.
How did you?
iTunes. So I had to clear make sure that the iPad was completely clear, and then start it as a new iPad, and then put my Apple ID on there, and that gave, so when I plugged that iPad into this computer, it gave access to my iTunes library. So I uploaded the video to my iTunes library, and then I could download it to the iPad.
Awesome. Only
took 6 hours to figure shit out.
But you figured it out.
Just, thanks to Google,
Yeah.
The help Mr. Wizard thing, that's always good and yummy and whatnot. So, and now I feel like, so after that I went back to the internet cafe, and I did the.
So how did the iPad get cracked between?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Was it cracked when you put it on there?
No. Before he left town, he was supposed to do all of this, but he had to leave earlier than, he actually contacted me from Tucson. He wasn't supposed to leave until today, but he contacted me on Saturday and said, I'm in Tucson, can you take care of all this stuff? And I was like, sure, and so it's taken a couple of days to get it all worked out. And but anyway, I finished the 5-minute preview last night of the astrology movie, and it feels really good. I downloaded or exported a copy of it for Vimeo and for YouTube HD. So, and so tonight I'll upload those. And what's the other thing?
Congratulations.
Thank you. It feels really good because it's only 5 minutes, and the cover letter to the people that are in the movie is done, and I will include in the letter. I'll include a link, obviously a link to our to the Wisdom of the Magi page, and a link to both the preview and I did like a 7-minute video explaining, introducing myself and everything, explaining what the context is about a month ago. I shot it out here, and I posted it, but I made it private. It's not just for the people that are actually in the Kelly's documentary. So I will send those out. Actually, tonight I need to go through and make a list of all the people that are in the movie, and find their. A couple weeks ago, I started to befriend as many of them as I could remember to on Facebook. So, or send out invitations for befriending on Facebook. So, some of them will be there, and some of them I have to find them all. And so, one of the things that I'm I put it in the letter already, and I said basically that if anybody, you know, if they, whoever is receiving this, feels like that this is a project that they don't want to have anything to do with, that I will take them out of the documentary if you know, at their request. And so that, you know, it kind of puts things in a weird way, you know, because how long do I wait for them to do that?
You give them a time frame.
Right.
And you put clearly that if they do not respond by this date, you will be in the movie.
Right. Thanks.
Simple.
So what all right.
Because
So
otherwise people...
what's today? Today is like what, the 27th or something?
27th.
Right. So let's say what, 10 days or something like that?
You give it the time frame that you choose, and yeah, because otherwise what happens is and you put it as a courtesy. I'm giving this time frame for anyone who chooses to opt out due to publication deadlines or dates. We
Constraints.
require notifications by and how many days you require. And that way, that is a written document. It is what it is.
I'm not asking anybody to send me any documents or anything like that.
No. Whatever your request is. I'm thinking it's in your letter to people, so that's why I said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how you do it.
You know, it's just a window for people to contact me if they don't want to be involved. You know?
And that's why I said put it as a courtesy. I'm giving this time frame for anyone who
Yeah,
just...
one of the reason why I haven't done that is because I would rather they be able to actually see the movie itself and see what of them is in the movie.
Well,
and I don't mind posting the movie so that they can watch it. Before releasing it to the public.
Well, my question to you is, since I'm unfamiliar with what you've seen and what you are working on, do
you want to watch it?
How long is it?
90 minutes.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Okay.
Now, is it something that Kelly filmed already? Like these people, it Kelly's filming?
Yeah.
So when he was filming them, did he make them aware that he was making a movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So then they already know.
Yeah.
That just answered your question.
No.
What do you mean no? Hi.
That's 45 in that format, and I also have one. You can have it out of
What's the price on this, please?
These are 15, but you can also have it in a frame for 35 altogether. So it's just $10 cheaper. It's on a particle board.
Okay.
Yeah, spray mounted on particle board. And you can also have it in this format. Well, these are 20. And all the frames are hand painted by me as well, and they're real glass. So, who's your friend?
My daughter. My baby.
Say hi, Annie.
So you do all this yourself?
I do. With my pinkies. Oops. spit out her thingy.
Pacifier.
That's why it's down in the right next to the leg there.
Okay, I'll go straight there.
You're
Yeah, it's a little.
Hey, thanks, man. I'll be
You're
back. I
welcome.
live just down the street.
Right on. Bless.
Thanks.
Yeah, sure. David.
Tom.
Right on,
Take care,
Tom.
man.
Yep. Hey, you. I like that red on you. So
there was a time, what I'm sharing is that Kelly
he has releases, I'm sure, of for people for the first
said
movie.
to them, "I'm filming this."
Yeah, that's not an issue. It's more a courtesy than
That's what I said.
I don't want anybody, because the first movie was an embarrassment for a lot of people, and I put that in the cover letter. I don't want to.
It was an embarrassment?
Yeah. Yeah.
In what way?
Have you seen his documentary? Okay. I've said this before. There were, he was trying to do a "What the Bleak Do We Know" version take on astrology, right? So he had documentary footage, interviews with astrologers, and dramatic elements, which is a screenplay that he, that tells a story and all this sort of stuff, acted out by, real actors and whatnot. Mostly, like, the star was his wife at the time. And the documentary footage is magnificent, and the dramatic elements were subpar, and the combination was too long, and the music in it in some places was just kind of glaring, glaring. It was just kind of grating, actually. And there was and the other major problem with it is the first part of the movie was a lot of justifications for astrology, which the takeaway was just apologetics for astrology. So it's like, starting an argument where you're starting an argument for one thing, and secondly, you're defending. You're on the defense. You're putting yourself into defense of, and that's how the movie starts. With this dramatic stuff that's subpar, and you're putting yourself one man down going in, and then the second half of the movie is great. Because you're out of all that, and you're into all the, so is, and the movie was almost 3 hours long, so which would have been great if it was a great movie. So for some people, they were very excited in being involved in Kelly's movie and everything like that, but they'd never seen any of his work, and nobody saw the movie before it premiered, even the people that organized the thing. Right, so from what I understand, there was this, it was a major astrological conference, right? One of the largest, I think it was the largest astrological conference on the planet, right? Everybody's sitting there in the audience. The movie starts, and it's very uncomfortable. I'll put it as very uncomfortable for a lot of people. Because because before that, everybody's like, I'm in it, and then at the end, they're like, I'm in that, And so for a lot of people, I'm sure there was a definite. I wasn't there, but I get that for a lot of people it was, they were really fingers crossed, hoping that it would just die a quiet death and go away.
Were you in it? What? Were you in it?
No, not personally. He used some of my, in the sacred geometry paintings, the first 2 minutes here where it goes really fast through my paintings. He used some of those as transition elements, between the different sections of the movie, different topics he was talking, you know, presenting. And so no, I wasn't in it. And but if I had been in it, I could totally, not even without even being in it, I can totally understand how people would feel. You know, like there's this brother named Chris Brennan, who's in the movie, who's in both movies, right? And he organized a fundraiser for Kelly last year while he was in hospice. And you know, he runs the Young Astrologers Association in Colorado. And so I got to meet him, you know, and this was after I did the rough cut, right? So I did the rough cut of the movie, and I get to know these folks from hearing them talk, you know, hour after hour after hour, day after day after day, doing this editing, you know. So you think you know somebody, you think you get a sense of a person, right? And then I actually got to meet him, so it's kind of like somebody stepping out of the celluloid, you know what I mean? It was very interesting. But one of the reasons why I finished the rough cut in like 3 weeks last year was because there was a possibility of screening it at doing a premiere at that fundraiser in Boulder that he was doing for Kelly last year. So a couple of days before the event was when I arrived in Boulder, and you know, to be with Kelly, you know, when he went into hospice and everything. And what ended up happening is, you know, I got a hold of Chris and I said, hey, the movie's done and everything, and you know, I have a DVD, I have it on DVD, and you know, I'd like to get that to you. And he said, you know, I learned from, he said, I organized Kelly's premiere, and I learned from that experience to not premiere anything unless I've seen it first.
You didn't see it?
Right? Nobody saw it. That's what I said. Nobody saw it. I mean, I saw it here because Kelly came here for some reason. I don't remember what it was. Maybe it was just to come see me, but he came here to see me the weekend before I had to move out of the hotel, right? And so I was finishing my autobiography as he was, you know, finishing this movie, and he had the rough cut of his movie, and we watched it, and you know, like within 2 weeks he was going to be premiering it at this astrological conference. So what ends up happening is, you know, it's great to see him, and we watched the movie together, and afterwards I just told him straight up, it's like, dude, you need to cut out all those apologetics, you need to cut out all that dramatic stuff, you need to make it a shorter movie, and you need to get rid of that music, right? And he was like, yeah, I know, but you know, it's done. I'm gonna screen this, you know, because he was burned out, and I totally get that. You're at the end of the project, you don't want to even look at, you can't even look at it again. You know, the last thing you want to do is like get into the editing room again. You know, you're just over it, you know. But I've learned from my experience that if you're that way about it, you have to.
Hey, I saw your first movie as a talking head, and I introduced you to someone that works at the big studio that David worked for. Anyway, and when he sat in his living room watching that, he kindly
Did we
said,
show that? We showed that to David Rains?
he's the one that gave you the feedback that had you go and put imagery in.
No.
Yes.
No. There was another, you know, the brother from conversation. He just affirmed what I had already had this conversation with. I just come back from that premiere out at the the test screening out at that festival, Water Woman, right? And so I knew that the experiment didn't work, because after 20 minutes of screening that movie, I was the only one left in the room. Okay.
Was that when
it was a two-hour movie, and 20 minutes in, I'm the only one left in the room. It was a full room when we started. You know what I mean?
Was that when you were still a talking head?
Oh yeah, yeah. So I got the.
Rains had
I got the. I already knew this, okay, and so then I was at a party here in Venice. I think it was maybe it was John Nash's birthday party, right? And it was a house party somewhere over here. And I don't go to that many, so it's not that much of a stretch to remember it. But there's a brother who's in the Luminaries, the band The Luminaries, right? And his name's Guido. And we started talking, and it turns out, he asked me what's up, and I just told him that I just come from this thing, and the project I was working on and everything. And he said, I'm a film editor. When I'm not doing the band thing, I'm a film editor. And we got into this really deep conversation about, film and documentary and all this sort of stuff. And it was from that conversation is that I saw what I could do with, still photographs and everything, that I could do what I did with my own movie, the Sacred Geometry Paintings movie. I could do that same thing with, to kind of lessen the amount of time that people are actually looking at my head talk, and it just meant that it was going to take, it's going to be a lot more work, a lot more time, because I had to dig up all, but I started to see it, and so then, what was it, the next day or the day after, whatever, when
you never even told me you had a conversation with
no. So when David Rain started talking, I already had the picture of where I needed to go. He just affirmed. That's why I was so receptive, because I already knew what I needed to do with that, cut it down to 90 minutes. And it was, I have to tell you, it was one of the most humbling things I've ever done, is to watch, watch it 2 hours, and then to, initially you're like, okay, I've got to cut out a half an hour of this. I've got to make it 90 minutes, so it's not too long, whatever, right? And you're in there, and you think, how could I, all this information has to be in there, right? How am I going to get half an hour out of this movie? How am I going to cut that, right? And you find out after 2 weeks of cutting and everything like that, of watching yourself, that the thing, it's really easy to cut a half hour out of yourself, especially for David Alexander English, because of all the long pauses and the ahs and the ums and the and and all that kind of stuff. And cutting out all that stuff, that was like that was at least 15 minutes, if not 20 minutes, of what I had to cut out of that movie. Was just me and my attachment to the long pause, which made it was wonderful, because then, once I got it down, I actually cut it down to 80 minutes, just without putting anything, without putting any stills or anything. It was like 80 minutes of like conversation, because that's where I really learned how to be ruthless as an editor, right? Because after a while, it's just so much fun. It's like, all right, where can I cut this? Where can I get rid of? And you're like, you don't need to say that. You don't need this. You don't need that. And it's like, yes, let me cut some more time out of this. And you just get. It's like you're storing up.
And share with your audience how you learned to edit video.
What's that?
Tell your audience how you learned to edit video.
I thought I was.
Did you go to a class?
No. OJT, baby. OJT. On the job training. Yeah, really. And I think it's really funny. At the time, I didn't know any better, right? I didn't know that what I was doing was really bizarre, but you know, the program that I was using was Adobe Premiere Elements. It's like the cheapest version of Adobe Premiere, and it's the 1.0. It's like the first the first iteration of the program.
Share with your audience the computer you were created it out of.
Oh, yeah.
Did you have the state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line computer?
No, not exactly. No. You know,
Did you have any counsel from anyone that had done all this before?
No, as a matter of fact, I did not.
Now, see, that's an interesting story.
No, but it's you
That's
know,
what
I went to
find
David
interesting.
Alexander English's camp for film editing, you know, which is here's a program, here's an idea.
How about the time when it gets to be its first screening when we were together?
Oh shit!
And what angle of your computer was actually?
Okay. It's a great story. All right. So, after 4 months of editing this movie, and I'm finally ready to export it out of the computer. You know, trying to burn the DVD and everything like that, and the computer had a virus, and it caught a virus, which by itself would not have been as big a deal, but also there was this really weird thing that happened where it would overheat, and then it would crash, and so essentially the computer held on to the movie for another 3 weeks of 24 hours a day, trying to get, even in my sleep, I'm trying to figure out how can I get my movie out of this friggin' computer, right? And so then I figured out workarounds and everything like that. And one of them was, as far as the cooling, the overheating thing, I figured out that the way to you know, because it takes like 8 or 10 hours having to have a computer on for it to render and to burn a DVD, right? And after going through, okay, bless. After going through you know, 10 hours of waiting for it to render and to burn a DVD, you could find out that at about the 9th hour, it suddenly decided to hiccup. And so you've wasted 9 hours, you've wasted a DVD, and so forth. But I had this workaround where I would set the computer, I'd crack a window to the room. It's you know, it's winter and you know, it's pretty winter in LA, but it was actually storming. You know, it's like we had a week or so of rainy and cold weather, and so I had this. I was couch surfing at a mutual friend's place, and I cracked windows so that there's, you know, when you have the window crack like this, there's going to be wind's going to come through there pretty quick, and so it set the back of the computer right up against that, so that it would get it'd have a fan going into a fan of cool air, natural fan of cool air going into the back of the computer, so that the computer wouldn't overheat. Oh man! But you know, essentially after 3 weeks, the computer finally decided to let me have my movie out of there. And then, so once the movie was out of the computer worked fine. Yeah, we knew. And we did this premiere at John Riley's place, and it went great. And then, yeah, story goes on and on and on. Anyway, thanks for listening. It's been a pleasure. Hey, perhaps the next show, show number 146, which hopefully will be tomorrow, we will actually put some paint on canvas. Yeah. My sister Chris just told me that I should talk less and paint more, which is kind of funny because there are people that saying the exact opposite. They want to hear more talking. But anyway, love and light. Remember, we love you.